I couldn't be more excited to take this journey with you.
Does I feel like I just met my husband? Oh my God.
Would you call it love at first sight?
It was one of those things where I had never felt it before.
Claire, do you fall in love early with Dale? Do these guys stand a chance? We are joined now by the Bachelorette, Clare Crawley. Claire, we've been waiting for this one for a long time. How are you feeling about people finally seeing your season? Are you nervous, or do you think it'll be some vindication that you're ready for?
I am so ready for this. Obviously, the buildup was taking forever. So it was like when it finally came for me to film this and to get going on this season, it was like, oh, but now it's kind of been a minute since we filmed it. So it's like, yeah, I'm excited for everybody to see this and definitely see a side of me that I've never shared with people before, and a vulnerability that I hope people can appreciate and relate to.
So Claire, the big question for any bachelor or bachelorette, are you in a relationship? Are you engaged?
You know good and well, I cannot spoil that. Come on now.
Okay. Are you happy right now?
Yes, I'm very happy.
Are you in love right now?
I can't answer that.
Okay. Well,
but I mean,
so we have an exclusive clip of tonight's season premiere, and it's a moment where we see you talking to Blake and confronting him kind of about him being the only person to reach out to you during the quarantine production stop down.
During the quarantine, Claire posted on Instagram on a story that she was really struggling right now because of what her mom is going through in the hospital.
So I want to check in if she's okay.
Over quarantine,
Yeah.
it was really hard for me. And you were the only guy that reached out to me the entire time.
Was Blake the only person you talked to during all that?
Blake was the only person that messaged me, the only person I had any contact, talked to, any sort of communication with. It was one of those moments where, you know, we're given these rules to respect the process of it all, and I definitely 100% respected the process. What he did, I also, and the reason he did that, I also really respected. So.
Okay, so Blake was the only one.
Yes, correct.
And you gave him the first kiss.
Yes.
So we like Blake.
Blake is a really sweet guy.
Hi. Come on over.
Claire, my name is Dale.
Let's talk about another moment we've seen. You meet Dale, and oh wow, it's a Dale of a tale. You say, I think I just met my husband.
Does I feel like I just met my husband? Oh my God.
How did you know that?
It was one of those things where I had never felt it before, and I never even knew what to expect with those feelings. When you have not experienced it or felt it, you don't know if it exists, but when you feel it, you know exactly what that feeling is.
So were you right about that feeling?
You'll have to see. Just standing in front of a man, connecting on that level, and it being electric between each other, I've never felt that instantly like that before.
Would you call it love at first sight?
I would definitely call it, you know, I don't know what you'd call it. Let's call it electric.
Okay, let's talk about more of this episode. Claire, here are some of the things you say about Dale on the premiere. Quote, I definitely feel like I just met my husband. I felt everything I haven't felt ever. I'm 39, you know these things. I know what I know when I feel that feeling. Claire, that all sounds so sure and so like love at first sight. Was this love at first sight? And how did you know this man was your husband?
I don't know. Like I said, it was one of those intangible goosebump all over the body, like just what just happened. And for me being a confident woman, I honestly stood there all night and I was like, great to meet you. I'm excited. Like each guy I was so into, I was so happy to meet him. And then with Dale, I felt like I was just a blubbering mess. I was like, what did I just say? Did it sound okay? And what just happened? So for me to be caught off guard and me be at a loss for words, I think that definitely says a lot.
Well, Chris comes over, Chris Harrison, and he says, a lead has never said something like that on night one. So what kind of conversations did you have with producers, considering you'd just done something no one had ever done before and kind of named your husband at a limo entrance?
I was laughing with Chris Harrison about it because I was like, is it not that obvious for other people when they have that connection? And he's like, not like that. I guess I assumed. You never know when you watch it on TV, because I've never been the lead before. I've never been the Bachelorette. This came out of my mouth.
But do the producers, do you talk to them and do you say, I don't know, this might be the one?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of conversations that are had behind the scenes of like, this guy caught me off guard on that, and that guy is a hard no. And you can already tell has your attention and who doesn't.
You give him the first impression rose that night, and you talk about that natural, amazing connection you have in that conversation. But then we also hear you say things like, you wake up thinking about him, you go to sleep thinking about him, we see sexy kisses. Just talk about that connection, both physical and mental, emotional, that you two have.
Yeah, that was something that you can't really anticipate with anybody. You don't know. Just as much as I was feeling that, I didn't expect or know, like, was he feeling that? Are we on the same page? Usually, in my experience, as relationships goes, there's always somebody that's ahead of the other person, or it's really rare that you kind of connect on that same page at the same time. So it was one of those magical things that I guess just happens.
We see some sexy moments between you and Dale, some kisses, and at one point, you are in bed together. Is that a fantasy suite? Do you have fantasy suites, and is that you and Dale in there?
Is that Dale? I mean, clearly we're in a bed together. I can confirm that is Dale and I in there.
Is it a fantasy suite?
You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see. This season is like no others.
Claire, do you fall in love early with Dale? Do these guys stand a chance? Help me, because you call him your husband, Claire.
I'll let you guess that then. If you're seeing all the scenes and watching us kiss, if that's what you're taking from it, then I'll see what you want.
Did she look Dale up and kind of know she might connect with him?
First of all, I find it funny when people are like, you admit that you looked him up.
How could you not?
I don't know.
Not? Yeah.
There was nothing against the rules of going on social media and looking at people's page. I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice to not do my research and look these guys up. To be my future husband, I want to know what they're doing in their off time, in quarantine. I want to know what they're keeping up with and what their type of content they're posting. Is it them partying? Is it them with a bunch of women? Or is it them with their family? And I think with Dale, to answer your question, in a lot of his stories, he would talk about his mom, or he would talk about his family. He was with his family a lot. And that is something that deeply resonates with me. And I just felt, on any level, whether it be friendship, whether it be a romantic connection, I just felt like there would be that good connection with him. But you ultimately don't know if it's a romantic connection because you're just seeing him through social media.
We also see in the teasers the guys question Dale's authenticity.
It's only a matter of time before Claire
realizes the truth.
That Dale's maybe not who Claire thinks she is.
Is that legitimate? Do you feel like you knew the real Dale?
Absolutely. I knew the Dale that was in front of my face. I think I've experienced it before in the past where you're not there for bromances, you're not there for anything more than that. And I know to some it can sound harsh, but it's the reality of it, is that that's a fun part of it, is the bromances or the friendships. That is innately going to be a part of it. But ultimately, you want to find love, and how he is to my face, that's what I care about. How he shared. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that he shared with me that a lot of guys shared with me that they didn't share with the other guys.
Well, the men seem to stage some kind of walkout.
Want to get crazy? Let's get crazy. How about the 15 of us walk out?
What is that about? Do they quit the show?
You want to, the truth is I didn't see that part. That was news to me, so I had not seen that.
Oh, wow. Well, so there wasn't a point, to your knowledge, when the men quit the show and walked out?
Not to my knowledge.
Let's also talk about a much teased moment. Chris Harrison telling you, you just blew up The Bachelorette.
Congratulations, you've just blown up The Bachelorette.
What does that mean? You blew up the show?
I think he's basically referring to that this is a season like no other. And I can say that really confidently, being a part of this franchise for a while now. It was one of those things where there was a lot of different things that played into it being such a dynamic, different season that I think it's definitely going to blow people's minds.
What does it mean to have blown up the show, Clare?
I don't know. Ask Chris that. That's a good question.
Well, it was a long build up to night one. What was your emotional state like going in? Because you seem really to be feeling things.
Yeah, there was so much emotion because not only all the COVID stuff, all the quarantine, to be kind of like trapped inside our homes for 6 months and not have any, for me, I didn't have any contact. It was me by myself. And so going into this, I just had so much gratitude for this opportunity. And still even now in the world, it's crazy. People are kind of sort of dating and it's that weird, you're having to wear a mask and 6 feet apart stuff. So to have this opportunity, I just always was overwhelmed with like, they're doing this for me. You know, they believe in me and want to find love for me just as bad as I want it. So
Do hear in the teasers, we hear one man say, I didn't expect the process to be cut short.
I didn't expect the process to be cut short.
And we hear another say, so do we get a new Bachelorette?
I can't even fathom how you guys are going to try and process this.
I don't know what that means. Like, okay, do we get a new Bachelorette in here?
So Clare, clear it up for me. Is Tayshia the new Bachelorette after you?
I cannot confirm or deny anything. All I can speak for is my journey and my story on this. Right now, I'm here, I'm talking to you, I'm the Bachelorette.
Well, does the process get cut short?
I do things my way, and we'll see. We'll see if it does. I can promise you that I stayed the entire time.
Your Twitter account liked a tweet about Tayshia being the Bachelorette. Clear up what happened there. Was that you, and what did that mean?
As we leave and go film these shows, everybody has other people who run and kind of monitor their accounts. And my friend was helping me run mine, and I don't think she fully knows how to run Twitter.
Why did she like that tweet?
The truth is, I don't even know. Her and I have not even talked about it.
Oh.
I didn't even think it was that big of a deal. I think slip-ups happen, or whether she meant to or didn't mean to, we haven't even talked about it.
I mean, Claire, the thing is, you're the Bachelorette, so people are monitoring your socials like crazy, so everyone went nuts over that.
If I was the one that did it, I would totally own it, because I've said it before on my Twitter. Years ago, I wanted Tayshia as the Bachelorette a while ago. Like, I support her. I think she's beautiful. I think she's a very grounded woman, a woman who knows what she wants. I completely support that. I've supported her. I've wanted her to be the Bachelorette forever. I always was for that.
Okay, so you would feel fine with Tayshia being the Bachelorette at some point. Are there 2 Bachelorettes this season?
I can't say. I don't know. You'll have to.
Well, we also see in a teaser, someone says Clare's gone. Do you quit the show at any point?
I did not quit the show.
Okay. You stay the whole time? Okay.
I went, I did what I was gonna do there. I showed up. I didn't quit anything.
Well, do you have anything you would have done differently on your season? Any regrets? Anything you would have done differently with the men and the experience that they had?
Would I change anything? Do I have any regrets? No, because I followed my gut and I really paid attention to, does this serve me? And if it didn't, I took care of it. And if it was something that aligned with me, I did it. And whether or not it was aligned with what the plan was of the season or what, I followed my gut to the very end. And I can't regret that ever.
You know, you have talked a lot about your parents' importance to you, that DVD your dad made about wanting to bring somebody home to meet your mom. So where are you at with that journey? Have you brought anybody home from this season to meet your mom, and has anybody watched that DVD yet?
That's a part of this story, and I think it's an important part of this story because especially with the pandemic and all that's kind of this bubble that we're in, this season is definitely going to be different, and how it plays out is definitely different. And I think it's going to be one of those things that people are really going to have to watch to appreciate and to respect that.
Well, I have to ask you, Matt James was supposed to be on your season. Things have gotten crazy scheduling-wise, and now we know he's the Bachelor. What's your reaction to that? Because there was some talk about you guys having a little Twitter shade and controversy. So where do things stand with you and Matt?
I don't know Matt personally. I think that he, as the Bachelorette, he's got something that he's always wanted, and I'm excited for him to start this journey. I knew it was something that was in his forefront always, so for him to have this opportunity, couldn't be more excited for him.
Are you saying you think he always wanted to be the Bachelor?
Yeah.
You do?
I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm just saying I think it was no secret that he always wanted to be the Bachelor.
So you kind of felt like that was why he was coming on your season in the first place?
I don't know. I never talked to him personally about it.
Okay.
I just can think off of conversations that have been had, messages, videos that were sent to my DMs, and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, it's not a negative thing. It's not a bad thing if that's what he wants and if that's his goals with things. More power to him. Like, he's the Bachelor. I'm excited for him for his journey, and I have nothing but respect for him.
Claire, last question. We hear you and Chris in that conversation. He tells you the path we're on is not good for anyone, you or the guys. You're in tears.
The path we're on right now, it doesn't end well. For you, for the guys, for anybody.
What comes out of that conversation? What's that path and where do things go?
My whole goal in all of this was for everybody to know and understand that even though I'm the Bachelorette and this is my personal journey to find love, it's also their personal journey to find love as well. They went through all the testing that I went through. They put themselves on the line. They put their jobs on hold. They put their families on hold, all to find love and have their journey as well. So for me, I wanted to do everything I needed to do to respect these men. And to make sure that there was no leading people on or no disrespect to anybody, period.
Describe your season in one word.
Unpredictable as ever.
Describe your connection with Dale in one word.
Electric.
Electric.